Okay, so Excalibvr is in a successful trade at the moment. Okay, and we're now making new most profitable points on a opposite indication of the TSR. Because of which, I'm going to jump into this market with 2 contracts. We're now at the low. So I jumped into the market with 2 contracts at the low. I'm going to extend my stop loss just a little bit back, another point or so, and I'm going to set up my average points a bit different than usual. More averaging, less distance between. And I'm going to try to let this trade extend itself for quite some time, because I understand that this indication here is telling me that the trend is coming to an end. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right this second. It could take quite some time. The market could very well make new lows before that trend ends. But what that indication is saying to me is that even while all that occurs, the ensuing trend has less strength than it would probably need to continue moving down. Now, if the background color of the TSR changes, well, that's a different story. But for the time being, right now you can see that we had made new most profitable points on a green background TSR. And that's what we see right now in the market continuing, is that the background color of the TSR column is still green, and we're still at the lows. So from here, I'm going to look to extend the trade, and I will check back in about 15 or 20 minutes, or if something major occurs, i.e. one of these orders or a couple of these orders get filled. So it's only been a couple of minutes, but it looks like my first average point may get filled here, and if it does, I mean, this is what we were expecting, so it's not any kind of a big deal. There is a very large amount of support underneath there, so maybe we won't actually get filled there, but either way, it looks like we might. Just give it a few more minutes. So my first average point got filled. You can see I now have more contracts, and my close position order, my stop loss has dynamically updated. Okay, well again, this could take quite some time, so it's about 1:08 now. If either if we get close to filling this order, or we get close to my trailing order, or stop loss rather, becoming a trailing order, I will begin recording again. Okay, so it looks like my stop loss could become a trailing order here very soon. So when it does, I'm just going to let the market continue to do what it does. I will then have locked in a certain level of profit, which at that point will be minimal, maybe half a point or so. But I will still have, I'm just going to actually do that now. I'm going to take away the risk to capital. So from this point forward, either the market will move in my direction and we will trail it, or the market will close my position. But when something major here happens, I will check back. It's now about 1:30. It's actually 1:27, 1:28 or so. I'll check back as the market develops. Okay, so it's about 1:34, 1:35, and my stop loss, which I placed at my break even, has now become a trailing order. It is now 8 points away from the highest point the market has seen since entering the trade, and I will allow the position to continue trailing up and until through the point where we end up stacking, if that's possible. But in the meantime, I'll check back in about 10 minutes, or if something major happens. Okay, so the market's rising a bit, and you can see that my trailing order is moving up with it. We're going to let the market go, and if it moves pretty quickly, I'll stay recording. If not, I will check back in when something's occurring. But I'm going to give this at least a minute or so to break that 943.50. Okay, so you can see that we're moving upward. My trailing order is following. If we get to the point where this order is filled, my stop loss or trailing order will update dynamically, and from here on out, it's really up to the market as to what will happen. Okay, well, this doesn't seem to be ripping through the top here. Either if something major happens, or about 10 minutes, 15 minutes pass, I will check back in. It's about 1:48 right now. Okay, so it looks like my trailing order here may get filled soon. I want to make sure I got that bit. You can clearly see that if I wasn't trying to take more risk in making more money, that there would have easily been able to take 2.5, 3 points from the market based on the indications of the Excalibvr interface. So for your 2-week trial, go to www.gatewayqsecurity.com and use promo code YouTube. Can't wait to see you there.